Godliness with contentment is great gain. To have a mindset of being content is going to be crucial in these upcoming years. Why is this? Now, before I expound on why this is, your focus as human beings, our focus as human beings, as the creation of the Most High, is to honor, serve, and worship the Most High, the being that created us. And in serving Him, we have to live a life holy and righteous. We have to be sure that we are staying in alignment with His laws and His commandments. And in doing this, there is a promise of salvation. There is a promise of entering into His rest, entering into the kingdom, and living eternally as gods. That is God's purpose. That is God's desire. Now, hold that in mind. Hold that in your heart. Okay? Contentment is better than, or godliness with contentment is better than great gain. For those of you who are not familiar with the Bible, there is going to be a great famine. There is going to be scarcity throughout the land, throughout the whole entire world. And if you look at how things are playing out now, we are on the cusp of this taking place. Look at the American dollar. It's losing its value. Okay? They are pushing towards things going digital. The increase in prices, taxes, but a decline in people's pay. The scarcity of jobs. You have jobs leaving America and going to other countries. You have baby boomers who are now being forced to get a job. Everything that is happening now is a foreshadow of what's to come. And if you don't have a mindset of being content, you are going to sell your soul to the devil for a life of comfortability. Because there's going to come a time when the Antichrist comes on the scene, and in order for you to buy or sell, you are going to have to take this mark. I'm not sure what this mark is. People have said there's a couple of things that this mark could possibly be, but I'm not going to say what it is because I'm not 100% sure. But in order for you to buy or sell, you are going to have to take this mark. And in having this mark, you pretty much sold your soul to the devil. You have forfeited your opportunity to enter into the kingdom, to enter into God's rest, to live eternally as gods. You've opted into eternal damnation, burning in the lake of fire. Because you put more value on living a life of comfortability, living like the Joneses, okay? Or trying to keep up with the Joneses, wanting to have the fanciest, delectable foods, or the most, the finest garments and vehicles and homes, because you put value on these things. This is your mindset. This is your idea of living peaceful and happy. That is a trick of the enemy. Because all of this stuff that we partake in this world, we can't take any of this stuff with us when we die. So the enemy wants you to focus on desiring these worldly things, opposed to focusing on how to live godly, how to live righteous and holy before the Most High. You understand? But when you are content, whatever it is that you have, you can find peace in that. You can find happiness in that. If you have an old busted up vehicle to get you around about, you're content because it's getting you to point A and point B. If you have food in your refrigerator, it doesn't have to be a steak or a lobster. And by the way, you shouldn't be eating that. But you don't have all these fancy, expensive meals to prep. You don't have all these expensive clothing, so that people can look at you and see see you in a light of success. You can shop at Goodwill and be content. Hand-me-downs and you're content. You can have just a few items of furniture in your home and be content. Because you understand the importance of these things not carrying value. And when you don't focus on these things, it's like you can put more of your time and attention on doing that which pleases God, on doing that which is going to be your ticket into the kingdom, into his rest, into living a life eternally as God's. Imagine that. No more pain, no more suffering, no more death, but just peace. And you live forever. No more hunger, no more disease, no more killing. Imagine living a life like that. But this right here, this is your training ground. Here on earth is our training ground. You understand? And if you don't pass this test and you end up taking the mark, you failed. So you have to decide, what is more important to you? What do you hold value in? Do you hold value in these worldly things, which are temporary? Or do you hold value to living a life that is pleasing to God, doing what's right by God, so that in the end, you will reign with God? That's something to think about.